Alright friends, welcome back to Vincent Gigi's Super Channel G, and look what we made here today. We made this King Ghidorah inspired Godzilla from this Hong Kong battle Godzilla right here. So this is what it started off looking like. This is what it ended up looking like. I hope you're as excited as we are, because this was a really cool experimentation, and we got that King Ghidorah kind of brown coffee latte look and a whole bunch of other little details that we put in there. And we wanted this like electricity type dorsal fin spines right here, the spikes right here, and of course for the face to be dark so it really contrasts when we have the electricity blasting out. So you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to compare this and this together, and we're also going to see what that looks like next to this battle Mecha Godzilla. I'm dropping them already, but you're not gonna want to miss this. So we'll also show you all the paints we used, and so you don't need this airbrush right here. That's just something I'll show you in a little bit as far as what we got and tested. But no, you can get all these with super inexpensive paints and paint brushes that we got just at Walmart, and you're not gonna want to miss this. So this is gonna be a really fun, easy custom Godzilla right here that was inspired by King Ghidorah. And I'd like to try another one actually after this. But anyway, so what do you say we go ahead and get started, guys? Before we get started, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell next so you get notified every time we have a new video come out. Talk to us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of this custom Godzilla, and if you like Godzilla vs. Kong and our videos. So what do you say we go ahead and get started right now?
What is up, Vincent Gigi?
Vincent Gigi, Super Channel G.
Super Channel G.
Gigi.
Vincent Gigi from Super Channel G.
Super Channel G.
Vincent Gigi on Super Channel G.
So tight. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Congratulations on all your success.
Congratulations on everything.
I will see you on the TV on Super Channel G.
God, is this great!
Alright friends, welcome back to Vincent Gigi's Super Channel G. So we're going to get set up here and take a closer look at this Hong Kong battle Godzilla that we are customizing and turning into this. Now, a quick little recap on how we got here. This looked, this looked exactly like this. Was this exact Hong Kong battle Godzilla from Playmates Toys, and looked awesome. We popped on the tail, and as a matter of fact, forgot to put this piece right here in the chest, so I'm gonna have to paint that and find where I have that extra piece. But long story short, just like the other customized Godzilla we made that was Burning Godzilla, we first put a base coat that was black, and I've been super excited about learning how to use airbrush. So I got this at Hobby Lobby. Was excited about trying it, and it's very new to me, so I'm still learning how to do it. But anyway, use this black right here. See, it even shows right there from Hobby Lobby, and then of course this to kind of clean it. But and just kind of sprayed it, and it was really quick. Was super cool, and learned a lot even in just that short process, and then saw some spots where we missed, but not a big deal because we're going to be painting the rest by hand. But either way, on the last video you can see how we would have painted a base coat with just our simple like folk art paints that we have, and that's what we're going to be using again today. So we're going to be showing you how to do a super easy custom, and this time we're going to be doing a King Ghidorah inspired Godzilla. So I'm going to set this aside and this aside, and again, this is what it started off looking as, and it's looks like this with just a simple coat of that opaque black. And you can do the same thing with one of these folk art black colors right here. So let's see what we're going to do. Let's get our little palette out here and same palette we've been using over and over and over, and already has dried paint from our last time. But this time we are going to be using this, this, and this. And I don't think we'll need this, so we'll set that aside. Let's see what brushes we're gonna want to use. I'm pretty sure I might just use this angled one and this one for a little close details, but I was hoping to have a, like, don't I have a small angle? Oh, here we go. This one's been my favorite so far, and not for tiny details, but getting in there. This one right here also, but and this tiny one right here for the little details. So, oops, grabbed the wrong one. This bad boy right here. So these are the ones we're gonna use. You can get all these at Walmart. And if you can see it, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm using here. And I'll take a close, be able to zoom in when I'm using each one. These are the ones I'm gonna set aside, and the rest of them, I'm gonna set aside so we can use, and the other ones we're just gonna put aside. So, all right, let's dive on in, and let me get a. I thought I had a paper towel here. There it is. Okay, cool. Just in case. I'm sure I'll need to clean my brush. So, I kind of have a vision in my head of what I'd like to do. I'd like to perhaps keep some of the head still kind of black, even though this is supposed to be like King Ghidorah. And I decided we're going to try using this, but I wanted to use kind of almost like a dry brush look, but not exactly. So I want to put a little bit of heavy coat on here, but keep the face darker. So what I'm going to try and do is paint the other parts. This part yellow, and these parts, this, what color is this? Coffee latte, but still showing some of the black underneath for texture, and keeping the head kind of darker so that we can have the yellow and white eyes glow with electricity right here. Maybe the hands yellow, but anyway, we're gonna kind of experiment, see how that goes. And yeah, let's start with just putting some of the brown right here. Let's try that. So let's put this right on over here, and there we go. It's probably way too much anyway. Again, this is what we're using right here, and these are less than $2 each paint at Walmart. And is this gonna be too small? Yes. So let's try using this, which is gonna be our 1/2 inch angle. Okay. So let's get some of this paint. Let's not get too much. Let's take some of it off like that. And let's begin bringing it down like so. Again, not sure if this color is going to need multiple coats, if it's going to look good or not. We'll find out. And hopefully I'm not applying too much paint right now, just because it is going to take multiple coats with how dark this black is right here. But I'm not trying to get it in every little crevice right here, because I do want some of the black to still kind of show and give us some texture like that. Look at that. So it is intentional that I want it to kind of have a little bit of black peeking out right there and give us some low lights and shadows. There we are. So we'll see. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I don't want to just leave it like that. We'll see what 2 coats looks like after we get this going pretty well right here. There we go. Once we get this whole leg, we'll move on. Move this way. Get Get some more paint going right here. Spread the wealth. There we are. So this seems to be coming along just fine, but I am curious to see how a second coat of paint will look, because this is still far from how I would like it to look on him. There we go. And hopefully it's not too light when I'm done. So that looks pretty cool, at least so far. And I'm like, maybe I should have started with his dorsal fins. See what that would look like, but it's alright. We'll keep going. Let's go ahead and get this arm right here. See how that starts to look. Getting little nooks and crannies. Maybe I put too much paint because this, there we go. It's a little too smooth. And you see right here where there's still some black showing? I'm gonna put too much paint over here, and I don't want to make that same mistake again. So let me slow down with how much paint I'm putting, just because, again, I'm just probably a little too eager to see how this is gonna look. I'm gonna cover up the gaps where there's still purple showing, if I can. And like, that's what I want it to look like right there. Oops, sorry, I'm going off camera. Let me fix this. Get some right here in the hand. And what I really want it to look like would be the way this looks right here and right there. So there's one coat. There's no coats. So let's see what happens when we get the other side. Again, ooh, I probably got way too much paint again. Let's bring some of it over here. That's what I'm talking about right there. Can't believe it's been that long since we did that last custom. But there we go. Just bring some of this paint from the other side. Kind of brush it off and bring it to this backside. There we go. And use almost like a dry brush technique. See how this is a little too solid, and this one does have gaps right there, and that's how I want it to look. So again, let me slow down. Not try and rush through this. If we can be patient, it'll have better results. There we go. And ooh, look, totally missed this. Let me make sure I don't have a ton of paint. But forgive me, I'm starting to go out of focus here, so sorry guys. Try to be mindful of that because I'm looking at the actual action figure and not necessarily always at the camera. There we go. Try to paint over some of that purple parts. Cool. Bring this out here. Let's do the same on this part. Just gonna start with the purple parts that are kind of hidden away in here and bring this paint over. Allow my brush to dry a little bit so we can get this texture. Now some of this won't matter as much once we start putting more coats, but again, I don't want to overdo it and rush the paint because we won't get this beautiful looking texture. Look at that. There we go. And then this little texture right here kind of comes down like a staircase right here. And because of that, it allows me to skip some of it down. So pay close attention to when you're going against the grain and with the grain, because you want to be able to use it to your advantage. There we go. Beautiful. And I started not doing that on the other side. There we go. Perfect. It's definitely heading in the right direction. Okay. There we go. Start bringing this down this way. Ooh, way too much paint. Let me start spreading this. That I had taken off more than I really had. So, again, be mindful of that. If I start brushing it against this way, it might just put more in between these little textures that I really wanted to go in there. This paint off. There we go. Some of this paint off right here. There we go. So, better. Let's come back and look at this side. Turn the head off? I don't remember. Maybe. Okay, so I wonder if we get a brush up here. I wonder if we use this one to paint this. How would that look? And how many coats of yellow would we need? So I'll hold off on that for now. Let's see how this would look again. Let's give a second coat now that it's already dry. Okay. Go ahead and bring this right here. Take some of it off, and then here we go. Again, I probably didn't stress this, but kind of rake it across the top, but not pushing far down in. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Look how different that's starting to look. Okay. There we go. Very cool. Look at that. Look how that looks. That looks absolutely amazing. Second coat's already looking great. So let's move this over here. And you can see the difference. Look right here versus right here. Take some of this off. Very nice. Pull just a bit too much paint right there. It's alright, we'll work it out. Look at that. Yes, and I think when we do this, you'll be able to see that it's looking pretty good. So let's take some of the paint off here and start bringing this down. There we go. Now we're starting to get some highlights and some of those shadows are remaining. Look at that. So again, don't bring a ton of paint. There we go. And wow, those highlights are really starting to look more pronounced. Look at that. There we go. Oh, look at that. It looks pretty darn amazing. Okay, let's come this side. Let's go ahead and start doing this arm. There we go. Oops. Got ahead of myself again. Bring some of that excess paint over to the other side. There we go. Looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's bring this leg right here. Looks like we missed the whole section to begin with. This right in here. Bring this down. And start getting this side. Maybe not enough paint. Too much and not enough. There we go. So we might need to get a little bit more in some of these crevices, so it's not zebra stripe looking. There you go. So we're gonna need to smear a little bit into here. Not a ridiculous amount, but kind of dry brush style it. See, this one and this one, look how great this is looking. Awesome, right? Okay. All right, great. And you know what? I may even like that just the way it is. So, what next? Well, let's bring the legs forward. Did I do the inside? I did not do the inside. Okay, let's bring this down. Okay. How awesome that's looking. You know what? I really need to bring this part in right here. But, alright. So we're gonna have to be a little bit careful with this part of our Godzilla because it's coming across streaky. This one has heavy texture, and this one the texture is not as present. So let's get a little bit lighter with our brush. There we go. Lighter and less paint. There we go. That's great right there. There we go. Lighter, less paint, and we're gonna be kind of pulling some of the paint off. You see that? So with our seemingly dry brush type of effect now, we're just spreading it and spreading and spreading, kind of thinning it out. Look at that. Pulling some of the paint off, and some of the black is starting to come back out. We don't want streaks. There we go. So let's get our paint pushed up over here again, and then take as much off as we can. And then right now we're gonna go against the grain. There we go, but there's some smooth parts over here, so you gotta be patient, watch out, and take your time. Pull some of where there's excess paint, bring it on down this way. You see we have almost like a staircase style right here. Bring this excess paint down. Same thing here. Maybe get a little bit more paint. Okay, very nice. Okay, and with the dry brush type of effect, we're gonna push sideways into here so it's not as pronounced. Again, we don't want it zebra striped, but we do want some of that black to come through. Look at that. Same thing here. Bring it across a little. And look how that's starting to look. Isn't that crazy? Alright. Let's continue to bring this down to here. Scrape some of this off, and we're gonna bring this down this way. Yeah, let me actually go this way because I pulled it the wrong way. There we go. Very nice. Okay, thoughts on how that's looking? Again, we can tell that we only have one coat here because 2 coats, 1 coat. Look how different that looks. So, not bad. Not bad at all. So let's pull this from this section this way. This will be our second coat on this part of him. Okay. There we go. Now smooth it out a little bit so that it blends better. And now this is starting to match more this, and this needs some more of this. What's it called again? I keep forgetting. Coffee latte. Very cool. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes, yes. pretty good. It's pretty good. So now we just need a little bit more down here. Even this out a bit. And look at that. Wow. Put some paint here. Take a lot of it off. And get just a little bit better blend. Start bringing that right here to the neck. And let's have it start to kind of shade into the neck, dry brush style, because I want to blend it forward, but maybe, just maybe, not take it all the way to the top. There we go. Look at that. See how it faded up? That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's do it again. Let's bring some from this side. Get some of our excess paint elsewhere. And then start to bring it up here. There we go. Look how cool that's looking. And this actually looks cool black. So I guess we'll see how it looks in the end. Because right now it's actually looking maybe even a little bit cooler than I had envisioned. Sure I don't go off camera. There we go. Alright. Give me just a second. Alright, sorry about that. There we go. Whoa, way too much paint. There we go. Perfect. It's definitely starting to blend in a way that I'm excited about. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking, guys? Look at that. Then we'll start putting some yellow here. But let's carry this this latte color across more of our Gojira. Again, if it gets streaky, continue to take some of that paint off and then go in multiple directions that kind of go with the flow of what you're doing. And it'll start to bring some of those streaks off, and some of the shadows and lowlights will begin to start manifesting right before your eyes, right before your very eyes. Look at that. Wow! I am blown away. Blown. Yeah, pop this off. Look at that. Maybe. Just so I can get some of this in here. harder area to get to. There we go. Start pulling some of that excess paint off. Okay, you see exactly what I'm doing here. I'm gonna get these streaks off. Still have a lot of paint, it would seem, and I want to start pulling it down this way. You start to see where we're able to kind of blend this down. And since it kind of staircases down, I want to use that to my advantage. I had too much paint right here. I'll start bringing it down over here. Look at that. Great. This looks awesome. This needs a little more paint. There we go. Use the thin side to kind of go in between these spines or dorsal fins. Little spikes on his tail. There we go. Look how that's looking. Of course, it looks like a single coat. So we'll wait that one out just a little bit. And look, it looks like we've dried a lot on here already. Okay. I'm gonna put the tail back on, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait. And I will put a simple coat. Simple thin coat on the rest of this tail. And spread some of this wealth. There we go. Add this back on in a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna leave him looking like this for now. Oh, guess I might want to get in there. Let me see. Now I know this is like his ribs and like a cut open part, but it's not really what I'm looking to do today. I want to put this piece that's missing on there, and I want to not attract too much attention to it right now, so I'm just going to fill the gap. Blend the neck a little bit better. Okay, awesome. Now let's start painting the dorsal fins. Spikes right here on his back, and I think I want to continue to use this brush specifically, so give me a second. And just so you know, I just cleaned my brush. I didn't do a whole lot more than just run this under the water and then kind of gently move the bristles around so the paint will come out. I gotta dry it so I don't have a whole lot of water in my paint. There we go. And let's put some yellow right here. Wow. And this is daffodil yellow, and this is multi-surface just like the other one was. Sometimes they have enamels which will harden, and let's see, this one was satin finish, and this one's also satin finish. Sometimes gloss finish, it's very different, and then matte finish. So on this one, we chose matte finish because it doesn't look shiny, doesn't look glossy, and I just wanted kind of that rough, more like rugged, leathery look versus shiny, because this is what it would look like. It would be a brown version of this shiny right here. So just to keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get some of this yellow going and see what happens when we put it on this back right here. Let's get these bubbles out of here. And I probably put way too much paint actually, now that I'm looking at it. So almost the same thing we just did. And let's bring it. Oof, I don't know if this yellow is too like, I don't know how I feel about it. And maybe it's just because there's black there, but this yellow right here doesn't look like this, and I get that that's why, but I'm concerned how the final product will look. So I guess let's just go forward, and we can always paint over it. So I'm like, oof. We'll see. We shall see. I'm quite dissatisfied right now. So we'll see how this looks in a minute, especially because it looks so great up until this. Continue to, again, follow our process that we did with Godzilla on the skin. Right here on his spines. Because we do want them to look electric in a little bit. So yeah, maybe that'll look better. There, with a lot of paint, that did look better, but we don't want to paint with just a lot of paint. Again, it'll come out real streaky. Don't want to rush this, especially because you're not going to save that much more time. There we go. So that'll work for one coat. Let me turn it around. I'm not liking the way that looks together. It looks terrible so far, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and come back to it in a minute. So let's come over here and start painting these. And we'll see how good a second coat may have done. Okay. Alright. Again, I'm really hoping this ends up coming out looking a lot better than it looks right now. This yellow. And I really hope it doesn't just look like a crayon either. go. Let's get some of the outside part right here. Oh! You saw what I did there? I accidentally grabbed some of that brown. Oops, oops, oops. Let's give me a second. Alright. Like, oops. There we go. Again, the good news, we could always paint over it. Now, let's see how this is starting to take shape on the other side. There we go. Okay, that does not look great. It kind of clashes, but alright. This time let's focus on maybe putting a lot of paint and getting it almost solid. Alright, here goes nothing. I guess better. Yeah, better. So I'm starting to get happy again. Alright. What are your thoughts so far? And yes, the brighter yellow matters, but I guess we're gonna see in the end if the colors end up clashing. Basically, all that means is, do they not go well together? Okay. Very nice. Looks kind of cool. And this side definitely looks better. And so we're probably gonna have to go 3 coats in a minute. Because we want this to look like electricity and not just yellow covering over something. So let's do a second coat on this side. Let's go thicker. Let's cover more gaps. Let's have more of the dark that might be showing covered. Let's follow along the lines. Let's see what that does. There we go. And yes, it is making a difference. Sure is. So maybe had I painted white on these before I did yellow, I wouldn't need so many coats and it would look like that, which is better because this is still like transparent, showing that. So it worked good for the skin. It did not work the way I'd hoped for these fins. So let's just cover more black here. Let's get these back sides that I couldn't see right here. With just a lot of paint. Let's just do that. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. This paint's still wet, so we'll go back to the other side. And yeah, do a third coat. Coat-a-rooney. See, I definitely missed this, so. Cool. And yes, this is starting to look way better. Maybe I'll let that dry for a second. And let's put this, see if we can put the tail back on. Wow, look how cool that looks. And what happened to my other Godzilla? I already lost. Ugh. Just to see how we're coming along right here. That's cool. Okay, so if we can nail these right here, this will make a world of difference. So let's give it a second to dry. Let's give it just a second. Okay, let's try one more coat. And hopefully we can get this yellow right here to look like this one to look like that. Because if not, then we failed. So here we go. Someone pull more paint than I've been pulling because I want to actually cover it in yellow. Better. Better. And I want to try and get rid of the little black that's kind of poking through, at least on this part. So yes, this is what I want it to look like. Oop, I don't want to take the paint off. So do a lot of paint. And allow it to remain on here. And if we need to do one more coat, we will. Just to make sure it comes out right. There we go. Finally. It's just next time we won't paint this part black and we're gonna do a bright color like yellow. Because it'll definitely impact its ability to reach the color we want. Very cool. Okay, now we're cooking. Look at that. Okay. Alright, it's already looking much better. And here comes the sneeze. Excuse me. Usually I sneeze in twos, and I guess just that one this time. Okay, actually looks pretty awesome. And now that I have it almost solid yellow, I'm not as satisfied anymore for some reason, and I think it's because it's too solid, clashing with the texture from the skin. So I'm like, well, let's see how this looks. We'll come to a stopping point, and then we'll figure out what we would want to do after that then. If that's truly the case. But okay, let's get back to getting the yellow that we need. Let's get there first, and then we'll plot a course, because we don't want to be halfway in between one or the other, then it doesn't even matter. There we go. Okay, cool. And again, it's not quite this yellow still, but I'm a whole lot happier. A whole lot happier. Yes. Get rid of these little black specks that are coming through because they're killing our color. And I really like the way it looks. I just don't know how I can get it to match and blend better. So I don't know yet. Don't know yet. Maybe a little bit more black. Had I left black here, kind of accenting that may have helped, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and paint some of this. Okay. Some of this, but not all of this. There we go. And get this right here. Okay, turn this over here, and we'll come to a stopping point, reflect, and then we'll see what more we can do to bring this even cooler and closer to looking like King Ghidorah. Perfect. Okay. That looks pretty cool. Look at that. And get some of this yellow right here. There's some of these other little spikes that are coming up in his tail. Touching them a little bit. There we go. Get this from this side. Okay. Okay. How does that look? Pretty outstanding, actually. So it is starting to work out in our favor. Get this going in here. I am pretty proud of how that looks. And we may want to put a little bit of yellow in the eyes and mouth. And now that I said that, maybe we paint this yellow. I'm afraid if we don't paint it white first, we'll be very disappointed. So let's do that. Let's do exactly that. So let's put this over here. Okay. Let's get this bad boy right here. And let's just start applying paint. And maybe it'll disappear right before our very eyes. Because we definitely don't want the blue and the yellow like clashing with each other in a way that it starts turning it green or some other color or offshoot of. So maybe we can get this as white as possible, which we just learned our lesson, and then paint it yellow. And I'm sure you'll agree that it's probably best course of action. And if I have too much paint, that's fine. This one we're really trying to coat. Let me get some right there. Cool. Let's continue. And there we are. I can't believe what I'm watching right before my very eyes. Why do you keep saying that? Because I find that term amusing. There we go. And maybe we'll put a second coat of white maybe, before we put the yellow on, just to make sure it's nice and solid. We'll find out. There we go. And yes, it's disappearing. So we'll check back in with this bad boy in just a few. See how it's doing. Do that there. A little more white on there. Come back to that. And I have the white all over my fingers now. Alright. Now for our Godzilla. Let's get this real tight, thin little paintbrush right here. And let's draw some of this yellow that we want for the eyes. What do you say to that? So, and you know what? Maybe we do white here also. There we go. And this is number 2 of the Royal and Lang nickel. So let's use this right here. Ah, see what I did there? And is this gonna be thin or is this gonna come out chunky? I want it to come out thin. You know what? Then let me do this. Let's pull one of our even thinner paintbrushes, one that's meant for detail. So let's pull one of these. How about this? What do we got here? 2/0. And look how this is intended to be super pointy right here. And let's draw a little bit. Look, let's have electricity kind of coming off of his eye like that. And we'll put yellow right on there. What are your thoughts? Same thing here. Let's get some paint. It's supposed to be like electricity coming off. So I really like the way that looks. Let's see how it looks from the front. Ooh. This one's lower, the other one's higher. So let's bring this down here. We just have it like glowing a lot. Great, that looks awesome. Look at that. I'll put a little bit more so that it glows over here. And let's have in the mouth, in the jaw, a little bit of white. So we can put yellow right in here. Perfect. Now we can go over this with some yellow. Get a little bit more white in here. Okay. Let's get this right here. We can pull some of this and fill in just a smidge more. Get this hand out of the way. There we are. Was I doing all of that off camera? I'm so sorry if I was, because all that was intended to be slightly impressive. Nah, I'm just kidding. It wasn't really impressive. It was just very minor, small little details. Oof, there's too much paint in here. It's gonna take a while too. So anyway, that's what that looks like. I want to be able to put yellow on there. So that looks cool. And now we can start. Oh, I didn't even see that I had accidentally gotten paint here. That stinks. Like, get yellow off. Literally just scratch this paint off. And then put some more brown on there when I get a chance. Wow, the black and the brown and the yellow all came off. So I guess it tells you how fragile this is. And yeah. I wonder, do we want to turn his claws black? Or do we want them yellow? How do we want them to match those? Black or yellow? It's a great question. So, black or yellow? I mean, yellow would look kind of cool, but maybe black would be best. Let's get this. Oh, we're gonna need black again. It's his white. Is white drying? Sure is. Okay, let's put more on here. There we go. And hopefully we see almost no blue whatsoever after this coat. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And look how much better that even looks white. It almost disappears here. Look at that. Cool. Ah. Alright, we'll be able to just paint this yellow once it dries. Very cool. Alright. To it almost to the very tip. Alright, awesome. So that's that. Got white on my hands, but oop, this yellow, do we need it? slightly more on here. Or not? Or is that good enough? Great question. Let me wash my hands and then I'll wash off these brushes, and give me a second. Let me find out. Okay, so I think I might do right here on his feet black, or his claws right here, because I'm like, yellow might be distracting to have this yellow. So I might do that, which won't take very long at all. And I couldn't find my folk art black, so whatever. Here's apple barrel, and this one is matte finish as well. And this is also one you can get at Walmart. Let me just put this right here, put a little bit. And let me just start coloring these. They were already black, but I was curious to see how they'd look, and I'm like, alright, whatever. So, come here, zoom in. You'll see this is all I'm gonna need to do, is this. And that should be plenty fine. Same thing on this one. Bring this back from here. Maybe just a little more paint. Same thing for here. Just have these looking really wicked. You notice how I'm kind of using a sweeping motion here, like this, to get the definite line right there. So that should work. And look how different this looks versus this one. So I'm digging that. This going right here, this going right here, get some more black, and yeah, that looks a whole lot better than it did a moment ago. Put this down, bring this up so we can see it better. And that was a pretty simple fix. There we go. As far as the hands, what we could do is just kind of bring the tips from the inside. That a little more fierce. Same thing for here. Do that. And I don't know, would it be too much to line this on the outside with black? Would that be too much, and would that look cool? Would that look terrible? Well, I say we experiment. I already like the way that looks. Or no. Let's try it. What we got to lose? Besides time. So if I outline this one, let's just try this one. This one might be too crazy. Let's see, what do I got? Nope. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. So we're seeing if we like the way this looks, because it'll bring us a little bit of definition. Not too crazy there. For where the edge of these dorsal fin spines are. I have a feeling that that could make all the difference in the world. So let's find out. So far, not too bad. A little unsure still. So let me angle this more because you can't see it as much as I thought you would be able to. Undecided. Let's see. Help or hurt? I don't know, let's zoom out. Let's see if we can make it darker. Alright, well, I'm gonna do them. Let's see how I feel about it. So it's gonna take a minute. So doing them from this angle because I can see how thick the line's gonna be. And I don't want it line too thick, but I definitely want some separation there. That looks terrible in that part because I'm really far outside the lines. Well, the edge. I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't know if that little thin one is cutting it. So let's try this one after all. See, let me douse this really in black. Let's see if that helps. Appears that it may have helped. Oh, I didn't even see I was doing that on the other side. I felt it like hitting somewhere. I don't know. I'm still unsure about this. Alright, let's just finish it. Okay. It does look a little better. Better than it did. I don't know if I want these lines in the end. Oh, maybe. And this thicker brush is definitely better to do this with. All right, go over here. Let's do this side real quick. Again, it's probably better if I look top down. I can see how thick the line is versus seeing it at an angle. That's cool. All right. Now we're moving a little bit. Get a little more paint and then take more of it off this time. Ugh. Keep accidentally going too far like that again. Okay, it's harder right in here where it gets real tight in between. And the bristles are long on this brush, so getting in between these without brushing on a different part is where it's getting hard, getting difficult. Okay. Getting close to a stopping point. Cool. That line came out a little better than I worried it would. Okay, so for now, I'll take it. And we'll finally come to a stopping point right here. Bring this over here, and I do like the way this is bringing some level of crest and separation here. And same for here. Okay, so we can always revisit this, do another one. Come back and see what we would do different after we reflected. And I think that looks awesome, and I do like there's a little bit of separation here. And now that I'm looking at it, we probably would want to even thicken the lines that we can see from an angle like that. And we can do that on another video. So once we move that at an angle and you can't see the lines, that makes it less appealing. All the work we've done. Look at that. Okay. Alright, so we'll leave that like that. Put this over here. Now, let's paint this yellow. And let's go ahead and use this. And it's covered in paint. Yes! Nice. And now that we're comparing this and ventured off the dorsal fins kind of in a different direction, I'm a little disappointed that this doesn't match that now. So again, maybe we'll come at this differently after we've reflected on it for a little bit. But nonetheless, stopping point is what we're aiming for. Okay. And I don't know how that's gonna look. Hopefully it'll look super cool. And we'll stop right there. So let me wash my brushes. We'll let this dry for a second. You know what? And yeah, we'll wrap this up, compare, and then see if we can post this by the morning. Give me a second. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how it looks. A look at how it looks. Let me set this aside. Let's get our brushes out of the way. Oh, there's still some wet paint. Wow, okay. All right, well, may have gotten just a smidge ahead of myself. I'll have to wash my hand again. And we'll take a look at our Godzilla anyway after I wash my hand, because I'm like, all right, so that's not ready. That we can be sure of. Everything else, let's just clean up a little bit and yep, okay. Let me get this off my hand. Look at that. That happened right now. Give me just a second. Okay, so forget this for a moment. And let's look at our Godzilla. So, as a reminder, this was supposed to look like King Ghidorah with a little bit of the brown from the skin And now that I'm looking at it, we probably could have made it just a little bit lighter. Now, we purposely made the face dark because we wanted the electricity coming from the heat ray type electricity coming out to come out like that, but it still has wet paint. So, as you saw just a second ago. And I wanted to really highlight the fact that yellow's coming out here, so it wouldn't just be bright. The dorsal fins that are poking out the back look kind of cool now that we can see some separation. It's not just a bunch of just yellow back there. So I am happy with the way they came out. Probably could have done it just a little bit better, but nonetheless, overall, this Godzilla looks wicked. I hope you agree. And you know what? If I had to do it again, there's a couple things I do different, but I am very satisfied with how it came out overall. So let's compare this to what it looked like before. So what this Godzilla looked like before was the Hong Kong version, and let's get that Hong Kong version out here. And it was this. And so what a difference to see this turned into this. Now, of course, this is see-through and looks absolutely awesome, and it's the plastic that has the coloring look like this. So that's totally different from what we ended up doing here, but look how that looks right there. So we didn't give it 3 heads, but we give it the electrical charge and the skin tones coming out there. So I really like the way that looks, and I hope you did too. And I'm sorry this thing is not gonna dry in time, but you know what? I will give it just another moment, and then we will wrap it up and see exactly how this all looked together. So give me just a moment. I'll give it another couple minutes to dry. Wow, that looks kind of cool. Let me take a picture right here, and we'll talk in a minute. Give me a second. Okay, and actually, what do you think about this? Look, I made a really cool wrestling pose right here. I'm actually gonna take a picture right now because I think it looks pretty cool where he's like wrestling Mechagodzilla to the ground. That looks absolutely awesome. And yeah, I'm sure there's an endless amount of poses. Look at that. All I did was lift him up and he's shoving Mechagodzilla to the ground. Mechagodzilla has, you know, his beam coming out right here. And then Godzilla's, let me see. You know what, it's gonna have some paint on it, but whatever. It's just not drying fast enough. Let's go ahead and put this right here. Look at that. And how does that look? Oh, that actually looks pretty darn good. Look at that. I'm impressed. Okay, so if we set up Mechagodzilla right there and we have him getting blasted by this, that would be like really cool. But if we can get that, we would have to have Godzilla leaning forward a little bit. Look at that. Right? Good enough. I'm like, oh, there's nothing keeping him forward. What could I have him stepping on? Oh, give me a second. Sorry, I'm getting too excited. Okay, so there's actually lots of cool things we can do. We can have Godzilla like stepping all over Mechagodzilla and showing him who's boss, or stepping on his chest, like in Godzilla vs. Kong, where he was stepping on, I'm sorry, on Mechagodzilla's chest, but it was stepping on Kong's chest. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. I love that this heat ray we can do as like electronic, as the electricity that was coming out like King Ghidorah's mouth and King of the Monsters. So there's just so much fun we can have with these, and I am very satisfied with how this turned out. So guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with us here today. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell next to it so you can get notified every time a new video comes out. And if you like this video, or just Godzilla vs. Kong, or one or the other, you're gonna enjoy more great videos like this on our YouTube channel. And so check back. We do have new videos all the time. We have tons of great videos of Godzilla and Kong action figures, and then more easy customs like this. So until next time, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with us here today on Vincent GD's Super Channel G. Peace.